I mean,
Yeah.
they're as abusive of America as they were against Russia, and that's saying a lot. And now think about this. I mean, if I were an American analyzing the British coverage of America, they say, well, if they're saying about this about America, and we know it's not true because we're living in this country, maybe what they're saying about Russia is not true either. You know, that's why I think it's going to backfire.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I think that's what's happened in the U.S. Pele. Nobody's buying that BS anymore. Nobody's buying that. No.
So the Trump derangement syndrome it's reached a climax here in Europe. I mean, it's worse than anything I've ever seen. I mean, I've never seen so much, and I think it's not smart for a continent like Europe to make enemies of all the great superpowers. Europe doesn't have any friends basically, except the Commonwealth, except Australia and Canada. Well, but I haven't seen as much Trump derangement syndrome from the Washington Post as the New York Times. It's a much more sober mood, perhaps. Is that true?
Well, I think so. The individual who runs the Washington Post is the billionaire who oversees Amazon, and he's fired some people. He's come in for some reason. He's jumping on the Trump team. I think Elon woke a lot of these guys up. Like, what the hell are we doing siding with these Democrats that are pushing war, that are pushing open borders, that are pushing lawfare, where you take out your enemy. I think they just when Elon stood up with Trump and got on that stage, that woke some of these guys up. Like, what am I doing with these Democrats? They're so corrupt. They're so corrupt. And Elon also opened up Twitter better. It's not. I don't think it's still totally open, but it's so much better that we can now get information. I get a lot of information from Twitter now. For what I report, I try to decipher that and then report on that and share that in my show weekdays. But So,
do you think that the mainstream American press or the legacy media, they've been chastened a little bit by what's going on X about the Trump's victory and so on? Because Europe is still in Trump deranged. Europe is still in 2017. America seems to have moved on a little bit. You're in a different information space. I mean, I've talked to so many Americans the last few months doing the TNT show and so on. I got onto Americans' mind, and I think that you're much freer in your minds, much more open to different possibilities, and you're really questing. You sometimes entertain things that go too far, but that's okay because it'll be resolved through discussion and inquiry.
That's right.
In Europe, we're much more closed-minded.
Yeah. No, I agree. We're seeing these reports coming out of the UK where people are getting arrested for a tweet or whatever. It's just and we actually had that episode in the US. One guy got arrested for tweeting something about Hillary. It was the first act that Biden did as soon as he took over. I saw one great attorney. His name's Jeffrey Clark, who was in the DOJ, big top guy. I think he's with the Trump team right now in the White House. He wrote this a series of tweets over the weekend, basically where he talks about how our legal system is so broken, how the attorneys are being trained by radicals at these universities. They become radicals. That's who's taken over these law firms. They don't allow a voice other than the far left voice. And he said, people don't realize how close the United States was to a one-party system under Biden. I mean, look at it. They're trying to throw Trump in prison. They're trying to kill him. A lot of people have been attacked, including myself, for sharing the truth. So it's been real challenging, and somehow we made it through that. And maybe just because we got behind this guy Trump, because we could see he was just getting blasted. I've been a fan of Trump since he first came down that escalator, but this is it's a different period. There's a different picture, and people. Well, maybe it was when they went overboard with these cases that the other Americans said, "What is this? What is this? This is not law and order. This is something different. I'd say fascism, communism, and Americans don't want that."